Welcome back. Welcome back to Australian Nationals 2019 Top Cut. We are just 2 matches away from crowning our 2019 national champion. On one bracket, we have two newcomers, Kodai Okamoto and Cody Thorne. One of them will be guaranteed a spot in the finals against two Titans. One of two Titans. We have Bowden Temnick and Michael Duke playing it out there. Both of them.
Two YCS champions head to head, and they actually played in the YCS final, and I think it was 2017.
Yeah, 2017
when Michael Duke took the win over Bowden that time. So that'll be interesting as well. But for this one, like Kodai, we saw on feature just before playing Sky Strikers against Cody Thorne, who's also playing Sky Strikers, I believe, or is he not?
He is playing Orcust. But he is not. He's one of the players who is not utilizing the danger monsters. He's utilizing the Trick Stars. He plays Candina Korobane with 3 light stages. He also plays the Neospace engine with Neospace 3 connectors and 1 Dolphin. He plays 3 Engage, 1 Hornet drones. He had Eagle Booster written on his deck list, but he crossed it out in favor of Set Rotation and 1 Mystic Mine.
Ooh, Mystic Mine in Orcust.
He also chooses to play 1 Reincarnation.
I understand that. There's some hands where you open the Field Spell and Candina, and it's just another way to interact with your opponent whilst also giving you a Reborn effect in the next turn.
It looks like Cody chooses to go first, which is very good for his deck. He starts with Light Stage, allowing him to add Candina or Korobane to his hand, depending if he opened 1.
And Kodai only plays 4 hand traps, 3 Ash Blossom and 1 DD Crow. He also plays 3 Infinite Impermanents. So 7 is still a good number.
Yeah. Maybe you, like he said in our post-match interview, he wanted to see 1 DD Crow, never wanted to see 2 DD Crow, but if you only play 1, you will only see 1. So Cody summons Candina. He'll probably search.
Searches Reincarnation, which means he probably has another way to summon a monster.
He has a Korobane, which he added off the light stage.
Oh wow! No, he added Candina. He has another field spell. This is why. So he can still get to that Korobane to be able to make the play. And in worst case, if his turn gets stopped, he'll have Reincarnation as another interaction in his opponent's turn. And like I said, it also gives him Recursion on the next turn to be able to get monsters back on the field.
Very interesting, because normally with Terraforming, you usually utilize it so you can get both Babel and the Trap card. But I think he's playing a more defensive approach.
There's actually another really cool thing about Reincarnation. If you link the Tricksters off and discard for Mermaid, you can discard Reincarnation and bring Candina back to get a level 4 for Redoer.
Yeah, so Cody activates the effect of Korobane to special summon itself. It was not responded to, and then he will link summon using Korobane and Candina to summon Cerberus. I think it's really funny that Korobane, unlike Cyber Dragon and other similar cards, actually activates an effect to start chain.
Interesting, because it also activates obviously to boost the monster when he's using that effect.
From what I see, Cody also opened the Orcust Crescendo, so his Terraforming wasn't going to be searching for the field spell anyway, as he was able to get it.
He also plays 2 Orcust Crescendo, as I saw one in his deck just then when he was looking through.
Oh, so Cody is playing something that's against the grain, so hopefully I'm pretty sure he knows what he's doing.
There's also 2 Mermaids in that extra deck, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, he crossed out a Space Insulator for a second Mermaid. I think he evaluated his deck list at the last minute and thought that the second Mermaid was going to be more necessary.
Well, clearly it's working, because he seems to be in a really good position at the moment.
And Kodai, despite opening playing 7 hand traps, he didn't draw 1, and because Cody had the Harp Horror early, he'll be able to end on Redoer as well, which is crazy strong for him, and winning the dice roll was absurd.
Well, Kodai better have that one-off DD Crow to stop the Symbol Skeleton effect, or this could be really rough.
Maybe, he's going to link for the Phantom Knights of Rusty Bardiche now, I believe, and then he will use Symbol Skeleton. He uses the effect of Rusty Bardiche now. I think he's evaluated that his opponent either doesn't have or doesn't play Ghost Ogre, because normally in this situation, if they have Ghost Ogre, it's very bad for you.
Yeah.
Ideally, you want to use it after you already have a Dingaroo.
I think he actually has the DD Crow in hand. I think I actually just saw the DD Crow.
The 1 DD Crow?
Is that Impermanence in hand as well, or is that might just be a Metaverse? That's already a trap for sure.
Possibly a Metaverse.
Kodai really holding his cards here. Obviously, the DD Crow's best target will be Galatea when he activates Symbol's effect to bring it back.
He will use... He's using Nightmare to send... he's going to use Nightmare to send World 1, I believe.
What does World 1 say? Can it summon back to Galatea if Galatea gets banished off DD Crow here?
I'm not entirely sure. I've only ever used it to summon back. I'm pretty sure as long as it's a Dark Machine, you can summon it back.
Wow.
He will be able to end on redraw if there is absolutely no interruption. Yes, you can. So it says you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one of your banished Orcus monsters, special summon it. So you will be able. So it's not Dark Machine, it's Orcus monster. So you will be able to summon Galatea back.
Wow.
He's summoning the
Oh, but
Silent
he's
Boots
using it
now.
early. Interesting.
I
Definitely
think
not expecting the DD Crow, that's for sure.
Oh, this way he'll be able to end on a Dingarisu no matter what. So even if the DD Crow comes out, he'll be able to end on Dingarisu. I think he's playing
That's
this
also
pretty
true.
well. I
He's
think
playing around a lot of things. I think he's doing well.
Well, what was the spell card in his hand?
He also has Crescendo. I might actually be the Babel. I'm not 100% sure.
Well, he's
What other spell cards does he play? He plays a lot.
Fall by the Grave.
Twin Twisters would be really impactful here as well.
Galatea, he's going to shuffle back the World Wand to be able to set the field spell. Because he already has a Crescendo. Oh, he wants to end on
Crescendos. Oh, because he has Skeleton to bring one back anyway.
Yeah.
So hopefully he does that before committing to the Dingirsu. So therefore he doesn't lose out to the DD Crow.
So he's choosing not to make the. He's just trying to set up as many negates as he can. He's not trying to set up the redoor. Trying to play this very safe. He's going to use Symbol Skeleton, summon back the other Galatea.
Fortunately, Crescendo is hard once per turn, though. But there goes the DD Crow coming down. Who has Mystic Mine in hand?
Ah, that's what it was. Well, in this situation, having the field spell wouldn't change much anyway, as he has no effect to activate in the graveyard.
Correct, but 5 back row. What must Kodai be thinking at this point?
What are they? He knows one's a reincarnation.
He knows one's at least 2 are Fog Blades. He knows where one of them are, and one's a Crescendo.
Yeah. Cody's field is very different to what Orcus normally end on, but I think he has thought out his turn very well, and he's going to play it.
I don't think 5 back rows is bad in pretty much any deck, as long as some of them are real. But there goes the jamming wave to force the Crescendo.
I think he's just gonna let it go.
Well, he has another one.
Exactly.
So if this one goes,
I think he's just gonna let it go because he to not give away that he's playing 2. He let it go. And now Kodai is also playing around that reincarnation by setting a card before he does that.
No reason to negate the jamming waves either way, even if he had one, because now in the end phase, if it did happen that way, he'd be able to banish it to add a machine, because it doesn't matter when it was sent, he can just use only one of the effects that turn.
Yeah, so I think it's ideal that he just didn't
either
activate
way, yeah. I think regardless, that was the correct move. So Cody playing really well here. There's obviously a reason he's sitting here in the semi-finals of the Australian Nationals.
He does practice a lot. I do catch him on Dueling Book every now and then.
So Kodai's last couple of cards are Metaverse and a spell card.
Along with that spell he set in his Spell and Trap Zone. Setting another one.
He has a Rotor in hand, which isn't doing much for him.
I believe that Fogblade on the Hayate is actually a viable play.
Very good.
To cut him off from the Engage.
Well, clearly he doesn't have Engage, or he probably would have used it already.
Yeah, to cut him off from Engage by when he sends it with Hayate and then summons the Kagari.
So in main phase 2, if Kodai chooses to make Kagari to try and get the jamming waves back, would you Crescendo the Kagari there, just so you don't lose another back row, even though they get Ray?
I think ideally you want to... he
did have Engage. Both players playing really well here. I think Crescendo may come down, or he's waiting. No, so he's letting Kodai commit.
And then he might just reincarnation whatever he adds.
Correct. Another way that reincarnation's really coming up here. Yeah. You reckon Kodai remembers that it's there? That's why he's thinking right now?
Ooh, he does, because he set the Engage first. He's definitely playing around it really well.
This is true.
I think ideally you just want to attack over the Kagari and the Crescendo raise effect to summon itself, right? And then that cuts Kodai off any monsters, which is how they need to play, because sometimes they have all the spells, but they don't have a monster and they just lose.
Yeah, definitely. He could just hold, like you said, Crescendo for the Ray.
And then with Reincarnation, Cody's also been able to get summoned back a Korobane and swing for a lot of damage. Korobane has 2,000 attack point. I do believe Cody still has a light stage on the field, right, as well, so that can shut off one spell or trap.
Yes, that's very true. It's just slightly out of camera there, but it is on the field.
Maybe he just Fog Blades this Kagari.
Definitely Fog Blades the Kagari. He had an Eagle Booster, so he shouldn't do that.
So now he's going to activate Reincarnation.
Definitely.
And then you can Fog Blade the Shizuku.
Cody's in a really good position here and playing his cards very well. He's still held the Crescendo, and it's Kodai's main phase 2.
Oh, he's allowing the... He's not... Oh, he can just banish whatever Kagari... Oh, so if he allows Engage to go through, they'll be engaged in the graveyard.
But then, I think he knows exactly what he's doing here. I think he definitely wants that engage in the grave, so he doesn't have to waste the fog blade on Shizuku.
And now he can so now he can just reincarnation, and then they'll be engaged in graveyard, and then
The reincarnation here at the risk of them drawing another engage. Well,
I
he's choosing to do it either way, but I
I
think that
think
probably is correct anyway.
I
You want
think it's well
multi-roll
worth it.
resolving.
Let's banish a reinforcement on the army. He draws a monster, and a monster.
Ash
Two
Ray
monsters and an
Afterburner.
afterburner.
Not the worst draw Afterburner.
Oh,
You could turn off the crescendo by destroying the Galatea.
definitely not something you want at this stage in time, though. He's going to go for Shizuku. I believe you can fog blade the Shizuku.
Definitely.
You think he'll activate the afterburners though?
Well, it turns off crescendo.
Oh, you won't afterburners the Bardiche because there's a fog blade in the graveyard. It will just summon it right
Yeah,
back.
definitely hit the Galatea because a crescendo needs an Orcus Link monster on the field to activate.
Definitely.
So he'll probably use the afterburner here. Although he chooses not to. So he's just adding off Shizuku, which Cody allows because obviously engages in the graveyard.
And take the shark cannon banish.
You do it or what's in there?
Oh,
So he's chaining reincarnation, which is interesting because then Shark Cannon can just banish it. Maybe trying to force him to use the Shark Cannon. Where he is anyway, just decided to get the harp, the extra harp that he got back because he brought it back off wand.
Yeah.
That was actually a clever play in the end because the wand would have had the harp engraved, so then in Cody's turn he has another way to play.
Now he can turn off that spell trap with the light stage though.
He just drew Call by the Grave anyway, so now he has another way to stop Ray from coming back.
I think Cody's probably.
Oh no, it was Rhoda. Sorry.
Reinforcement of the army. He'll be able to search.
Connector, right?
Able to search Neospace Connector or the second copy of Silent Boots. Should he choose?
Field Connector's the way to go here. There's one back row that gives you an extra monster.
I do believe so too because it gives you two monsters. Is a Neospace Connector level 4?
Yes. And
If he
Dolphin's level 3.
Oh, he could have made, if he summoned Candine instead of Korobane, he could have used Neospace Connector to make Redoer, and then that will trigger Rusty Bardiche.
I think it's highly likely that
you couldn't expect to draw.
Definitely not.
Neospace Connector.
I think Call by the Grave is his other card, or is it Mystic Mine?
Is he going to remember that he has a light stage on the field?
If he is remembering, he's choosing to not use it. But it's just a metaverse anyway. But the metaverse is going to get a Mystic Mine. So he might have to. Hopefully, he holds his crescendo in time so he can negate it.
I would have. Oh, yeah. There's just so many lines here because you ideally want to use crescendo on Ray, but I think
he has Call by the Grave. Yeah. I think. Oh no, he has Mystic Mine. I was wrong about Call by the Grave.
Yes, Aqua Dolphin.
Does he play Abyss Dweller in his extra deck by any chance?
He does not. The only Exceed monsters he plays are Redoer and Dingarisu.
No Breaksword either.
I believe. So he's going to discard that Mystic Mine that he doesn't need to be able to look at Kodai's hand.
Well, it's a 2100 monster in the field, so he's definitely going to take a monster.
Is there any reason why Kodai did not Ash Blossom the Neospace Connector?
Maybe he didn't know he was summoning Aqua Dolphin. Maybe he thought he was going to summon Air Hummingbird instead and gain some life points.
What would you send in this scenario? Like, they're both valid sends.
I think if I knew I was going to turn them off Ray, I'll discard the Ray.
Yeah.
But if he has a player that doesn't want to get Ash, that's also... I think either way, it just depends what his line is. Like you said, there's multiple lines from here. So he can definitely choose multiple ways to do this as long as it goes the way he's trying to play out this turn.
And we cannot forget that Neospace Aqua Dolphin also inflicts 500 points of damage when it successfully destroys a monster in Kodai's hand.
Now he just has to sit there for 27 minutes and win in time.
Yeah, well, like with Kodai's previous match, both decks have a way to deal damage without clearing through monsters.
That is true. Dolphin again, yeah.
And there are like 3 Neospace Connectors and a reinforcement of the army, so there's four ways to be able to get that Dolphin on the field. Going for a Dingursu play, but this now also shuts off his own crescendo. This might be an oversight.
Does he play 2 or 3 Galatea?
He plays 3 Galatea, but if Mystic Mine hits the field right now, it's going to hurt.
Oh wow! He'll flip. Does he flip it? Don't worry. He just realized the accident.
Here comes a Mystic Mine, but then does Mystic Mine negate activations or effects?
You can't activate.
Oh, so he
sure.
Or declare an attack.
Dingosu still resolves at least.
Might be an oversight on Cody's part. Luckily, he does play 3 Twin Twisters in the main. He also plays a set rotation, but he had the Mystic Mine, so he won't be able to use set rotation.
I don't think it's worth him linking down to one monster just to destroy the Mystic Mine, although he does have full knowledge of Kodai's hand. Although he can't destroy the Phantom Knight Rusty anyway, so there's no way for him to get to one monster.
Oh no, do you think this would be a costly mistake for Cody?
I don't think so yet. He still has outs in his deck. He also he knows his opponent has Ray and Afterburner, and Afterburner doesn't really do much. So I think does Dingirsu activate?
The protection effect does not activate.
So yeah, he can just use that to protect from Afterburner anyway.
Going to link summon Near Space Connector and Aqua Dolphin. What do you think he'll make?
He's looking at Phoenix, but now he may actually just make a Unicorn. I think he may just want big monsters on the field, but that's not a great thing against Sky Striker sometimes, because they can still activate Widowmaker. Yeah. But
if he just left the Galatea on the field, would have been in a very good position.
So I don't think Kodai plays the Pot of Desires, so his favourable draw here is probably going to be an Engage to get him another card. So I think Cody Thorne's just turning the Crescendo back on by summoning Galatea.
Yeah. And then he'll be forced to negate the Afterburners, right? Oh, this might be a costly mistake.
Well, he's got Skeleton Engrave, and if Afterburners resolves, I think he just lets it resolve, so then the monsters on the field become even. It honestly depends. If he just drew Engage, it might be starting to swing back in Kodai's favor.
Cody was so far ahead at the start of the turn.
I'm curious what he drew here. He's thinking about it. Was Engage. The classic Sky Striker combo of
top deck Engage.
Well, he'll have to definitely negate this. There's no way he can't negate this. And if he draws Twin Twisters, it's totally fine, because he can use Crescendo to add a machine.
Cody's thinking about it.
To. So I feel like he may use it anyway. So he does activate Crescendo. So Crescendo negates the Engage and will be banished. Almost.
Another cool thing is that he can use Crescendo's effect to tribute set like a Nightmare, and then there'll be the same number of monsters on the field.
This is true.
I believe he's going for a Hayate.
Start to get that damage in there, because we're almost halfway through the round once again, and in game 1. You see this a lot with Sky Striker, but he activates the Fog Blade on the Hayate. But you do see this a lot of game 1s with Sky Striker is the games do go for a long time, because the deck inherently does grind, and adding Mystic Mine to that strategy as well just means that games may go longer than they normally would. And since Sky Striker have so many good cards close to time, it's just a viable strategy, and it always just works out.
Maybe he does go for the Search Nightmare play and Tribute set it. Who would have thought Tribute setting was a thing?
Well, it depends how many spells are in Graveyard now. Although he has got Galatea in the Link Zone, so it can't be destroyed by battle anyway.
That is correct.
You can also get to an XYZ.
Twin Twisters?
If it is, he can definitely.
He doesn't. Oh, he does. But he'll be locked into special summoning machines for the rest of the turn.
I don't think that's a big issue right now, because he has Skeleton Engrave already, plus he can get a Harp. He can even add Wand here, I believe. I think Wand's a really good draw. You can Wand back the other Galatea. Yeah, so that's a good decision, I think.
That was a very good draw for Cody Thorne.
So, if it is Twin Twisters, it very well might be. I really think it is.
It looks like a Twin Twister to me. It smells like a Twin Twister to me. It sounds like a Twin Twister to me.
And I think after he does this, he should, before attacking, activate Galatea's effect to set a Babel. So therefore, in the battle phase, he'll be able to skeleton out the Dingirsu to destroy to send the Ray or the Link monster, depending. So it is a good draw. The Twin Twisters resolves.
And he had previously gotten rid of the Ash Blossom, so everything will be fine.
Yeah, he knows his opponent's entire hand.
Sometimes you just don't get punished. It is great. So, no.
So he's going to probably hopefully use his Galatea effect to get Babel. So during the battle phase, he'll be able to send the Link monster that comes back off Ray, because he has no other way to stop Ray right now. Instead, he's deciding to summon back the other Galatea.
Maybe he uses the second Galatea.
A lot of Galateas. He's got Wand. He's probably going to make Longirsu.
Oh, that is also played, but then you remember Kaina comes down, Kaina can block an attack.
Yeah, but that's why if he has Babel activated, he can use the skeleton, or he could have used the skeleton in the battle phase to bring back the...
And still use Galatea.
Still use it.
He's gonna link summon. He is gonna link summon Longrisu. Maybe he wants to keep the number of machines there so he can use Longrisu's effect.
Someone that to the Shizuku zone, he could have sent Shizuku with
He
it.
can still send Shizuku because it's
not
no,
linked to
it's
anything.
not linked.
I don't know why he's going to send his own Rusty to the graveyard. He can't. It's not linked to anything. I think he's accidentally summoned the Longisu to the wrong side. That's okay. I think he still has to send something. He still has to send his own card.
Wait,
he can also send 2 back and not use the effect.
Really?
Yeah, it's the same as Galatea. You don't have to resolve the effect to put 2 back. Or 1 back with Galatea.
That might have been an
That's
oversight.
lucky. I think it targets. Or it may not target, so it means it just becomes optional once the effect resolves, so he doesn't have to send anything. Oh, and he puts the second Dingirsu on top of the Longirsu. Destroy the... Did he use Dingirsu to send that, or did he use Rusty? Because if he used Rusty, he could equip with Dingirsu again.
Yeah, I believe he destroying with the... Oh, no, he didn't.
Must have sent it.
Oh,
he's still in a very good position here.
I think in a high pressure situation, you just like a lot of things just become oversights, right?
Yeah, especially once he like accidentally tried to use Longirsu when he couldn't use it on the Shizuku effect.
But
once again, he's still in a good position here.
But they played through 9 rounds of Swiss today. This is their like 4th round of matches today. It's 13 matches in 2 days.
A lot of matches.
Yeah, you just have to forgive people for making like slight oversights.
So is he resolving Babel? Or does he not want to set Babel? Does he play Babel?
He does play the card called Orchestrated Babel. Oh.
He also has another Crescendo engraved, so during his opponent's turn, he's going to be able to use that to get another machine if there is.
What's he?
So he decided not to set Babel. Maybe he values the Trickster Light Stage more than the Babel right now. And he's just using the Galates to put resources back. The upside is he has a lot of monsters that are bigger than Kana. So even when this Kana comes out, it'll still be destroyed and he won't be on Ray. But that's the downside to not discarding Ray the turn before, is that Kodai still has a Ray.
Perhaps he just didn't equip because, well, first of all, there's nothing to equip, and there was, but maybe he wanted to shuffle back with Galatea.
I think he wanted to have an option for Galatea because he used Longirsu by accident, I think.
He's going to use...
He's going to summon Kana, I believe.
But he can just attack over it with the Galatea anyway. The Galatea is still stronger.
Correct.
For 300 points of damage.
Then Donkisu can't attack, but he's going to take another 21 further points of damage from the Rusty.
I believe it has more, right? Because he's Nightmare's effect on it.
Did he target the Rusty? It depends what he targeted with... No, because he never sent with this one this turn, so nothing boosted. So he just takes another 2100. I think it leaves him on about 5-1.
And he knows that Kodai has another Ray in his hand along with a multi-roll.
It has to be another good draw for Kodai, though. And there's only 1 engage left in deck, so surely not. Maybe he draws Upstart Goblin.
And he draws Sign at Universe.
Well, Universe would be a very good draw.
You draw a spell card.
Widow Anchor, possibly?
Widow Anchor would be...
Well, he got multi-roll last turn off Shizuku.
He has a Ray.
Got Ray, Afterburner, and whatever he drew just then.
The Cody's...
The upside is Dongisu can still negate the Afterburner, so that Afterburner's not really doing much.
That is definitely a Widow Anchor in his hand.
Dongisu still cannot attack, correct? Kana is for 2 turns?
Yes. I think. I'm not entirely sure. It might say to the end of the next battle, next turn.
Yeah.
We'll get a double check on that right away. But he will take it and he'll be able to multi-roll it away.
He'll probably choose to send it. It's whether or not he tries to attack with it or not. I'm sure he's aware if he has used Kana or not.
It kind of says, if this card is special summon, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack until the end of your opponent's turn. So I believe he
can attack with it. It's just more that when they use it in their own turn, that they can't attack with it on the next turn. But he does choose to multi-roll it, so he won't be able to respond with Afterburner. With the Afterburner, sorry.
Afterburn the Galatea and destroy it.
This is the last stage.
And then he'll be able to summon Ray. Summons Ray, he will then summon Hayate.
It's another very important game 1. Because they are well over halfway into this game. So the winner of game 1 has a massive advantage going forward to the next 2 games.
Yep. Yeah, and then going into game 2, They'll have to decide whether or not they want to go first. Like we've been talking about, calling second is sometimes really good.
Well, Kodai obviously, as we talked before, has the evenly matched in the side deck, and also the Ghost Sister and Spooky Dogwood.
Cody has a very streamlined side deck. He plays 3 Lancia, 3 Droll and Lockburst, 3 Evenly Matched, 3 Infinite Permanents, 3 Typhoon. You just pick.
Typhoon.
Oh, Typhoon is really good because when you go second against Striker, you can hit that multi-roll and it can stop them from having the Shark Cannon. It can stop them from having the Widow Anchor.
Like we're seeing
right now. Yeah.
The other thing, I think Typhoon can actually hit Mystic Mine too, if I'm
Yeah.
correct. That's just another out.
But yeah, do you think game 1 might just last 15 minutes?
It could still keep going. Like, both players have quite a bit of life points.
Yeah, Cody's using the effect of Orcus Crescendo during the end phase to be able to search. Getting a lot of cards for free does give him a lot of options next turn. He's recycled all his Galateas, right? I believe.
I think he put the one back that was banished, so he still has access to one. Because that DD Crow banished it really early on, obviously.
And Shizuku will add a Widow Anchor.
So Kodai starting to get his engine going finally. Plenty of turns into the...
Oh, it's another Twin Twister.
That is a really good draw.
That is absurd. So with Harp Horror and Twin Twister, he can clear both Widow Anchor. But then he can activate the Widow Anchor and take the Bardish.
True, but they still get banished. But in that case, would you try to force one of them to therefore... Because if he discards this Harp, it's going to get Shark Cannon in response.
And he doesn't have the field spell active. He doesn't have Light Stage active either. Kodai thinks about it.
It's whether or not he's going to destroy the multi-roll here to take him back another turn. Maybe try to force the Widow Anchor by attacking the Shizuku. Because there's only so many Link monsters that Sky Striker have.
I think he's going to activate both of them.
Assuming the Twitches are targeted both.
He's going to take the Nightmare. This does lock Cody out of any further plays.
He can attack the... how many spells are in his graveyard. But I think there's probably more than 6 spells in the graveyard at this point.
And then
he's probably checking right now.
Nightmare has 2,000 defense.
Yeah, that's fine.
4, 5.
So he can just get over the Shizuku, so we can force him to use another Link monster next turn. But if he has another Shizuku, he may just resolve the multi-roll for set 2, which I think there's still an engage in there. There is.
That is 5. So they're just double checking. They don't want to make sure there's any carry-on errors later on.
So an extra 100 points of damage.
13 minutes on the clock. Ray on the field.
If he has any more Shizukus left, he can just multi-roll the engage and then Shizuku another engage.
Interesting to know that if Kodai connects with the Hayate next turn, they'll both be even at 5,000.
Imagine a game 1 exact draw. I don't even know what happens then.
Oh no, and then he gets an engage back off the multi-roll.
And I think in the end phase, he's going to Ray for Shizuku and get another one if he has a Shizuku available.
I believe he only has Kaina left.
Oh.
Why he chooses not to use it.
What a game.
I think he's going to use the engage to try and get to a Signet universe now.
Well, that'd be the perfect card, right?
Indeed it would. He's going to target the Rusty Bardish.
So no further damage next turn. I think he may be out of Hiates as well.
He's going to send the Metal Foes. He's really digging for that Signet universe. He's got...
He has Terraforming as well, and Metaverse, so then if he survives another turn, he can use the Metaverse in the next turn.
12 minutes on the clock.
Still plenty of time, but at the same time, this is game 1 still. So, is that an Ash? Ash could come up if that Orcus Nightmare has the result. Not much Cody can do about this, unfortunately.
Really digging deep. He's getting another Shark Cannon.
Second copy of Shark Cannon. I believe he plays 2, possibly 3.
But he does play 2 copies of Shark Cannon.
Yeah. It's become more standard these days for the Salamangreat matchup and this matchup.
Oh, did he... That Signet universe?
Another Widow Anchor or a Mystic Mine.
He
still has a lot of cards in hand. Like, this game has really quickly swung, and I think it's on the back of multi-roll starting to resolve.
I think that's a Terraforming.
It was a Widow Anchor.
Wait, isn't that the one that was the one he added off Shizuku. I think he drew Terraforming.
Funny, interesting effect here. Orcus Nightmare can't be destroyed by battle by Link monsters.
Yes, that.
So he couldn't even attack with that Rusty if he wanted to.
But it was already blocked by Kaina, I think, this turn. Yeah. I think it's a Terraforming we're going to see.
Well, every spell he activates now, or is it Sky Striker spell or spell card? It's kind of starting to gradually Kodai's life points back up.
It's likely to be spell cut. Oh, there goes the afterburners.
Now, Cody's left with no cards. He does have the Orcus Nightmare for next turn, but Kodai also has an Ash Blossom.
And a Jamming Waves.
So I feel the start of this next turn, although if I was Cody, even if he ashes it, I would just keep playing. Because what's he going to do? Attack for 1500 damage?
Yeah.
Like, I would draw, and if that gets Ash, I would just keep playing. There's 10 minutes left on the clock. You've committed to playing this long. Yes, the multi-roll will resolve, but he's out of extra deck. Got no Link monsters left. If you can clear this one, you may just win.
Yeah.
And he's still got Fogblade engraved for Rusty. Maybe he should Fogblade Rusty to block the 1500.
Never mind.
Chain the Fogblade. Yep. Oh, he can't respond to Shark Cannon because multi-roll resolved. So the Rusty is just gone.
He does play 2 Silent Boots. Maybe he can like body block with.
I think that was really smart by Kodai to search this Shark Cannon. I think he knew exactly that play was going to happen. So he resolved the multi-roll immediately when he had the chance. So there is still an Ash Blossom in hand, so the Orcus Nightmare player, like I said, will not resolve. Can you even use Orcus Nightmare if he has no monsters on the field?
Yeah, you can target your opponent's
monsters. Alright, cool.
And he'll be able to set. He's going to set.
What?
2 interactive spells, possibly 3.
Can dig for more spells.
Or to just gain life points using Kana's effect.
This is also true. He gained 500 life points that turn.
There's 9 minutes left on the clock.
Been a very intriguing game, this one.
Yeah.
A lot of back and forth.
I think it started in Cody's favor, and then throughout the game, Kodai just took control.
I think it's once multi-roll started resolving, it's when the game started to turn.
Cody will draw.
Other Twin Twisters, or if that's Mystic Mine, that could be very interesting.
Yeah.
How many copies of Mystic Mine was he playing? Just the one?
One, but he also has less life points.
Oh, it's his own copy of Engage. So does he ash this, or does he wait for the Orcus Nightmare still? That's got 3 spells, more than 3 spells. He'll be drawing off this as well. I think he has to ash it. Yep. Does Kane up? Oh, he's going to banish the Nightmare before he gets the chance. I think that's, yeah. Like I said, I believe there's almost warranted to keep playing this. It just depends how much time you want for game 2, I guess. So 8.5 minutes left on the clock. About to go into game 2. We'll probably have like 5 minutes left when we start game 2.
Yeah.
What's kind of sort of side options do you think Cody will look at here?
So Cody, I think, well, like from time, looking at time, there's like 8 minutes on the clock. You can realistically call second. Your opponent takes a turn of like 2-3 minutes, like using all their Sky Strike effects, and then you just want to put as much damage as possible. Maybe you just want to build up a field with a lot of big monsters, and then near space connect to some of the Dolphin, but then you run the risk of your opponent just not having any monsters.
Especially a deck that literally doesn't play more than 7.
Yeah.
And most of them are Ray. The other interesting thing I just saw in Cody's side is the draw on Lockbirds. That could just end Kodai's turn at any point.
Yeah. That is true. Like on a terraforming, and then that shuts the turnover. You can't use Shizuka, can't use Engage, can't use Desires. Does he play? Doesn't
play Desires.
Can't use the Upstart. He can't
use the Metal for Fusion Grave effect either. There's a lot of options there. So I'm sure the draw on Lockbirds will come in. I don't think Impermanence will come in. It's more of a card for the combo decks by the looks of it in the mirror match.
Yeah.
Typhoon and Evenly Match definitely good options if he's going second. And Typhoon even going first could just come up. Like hitting multi-roll at any point in that match would have been critical, especially when the game started to turn back in Kodai's favor.
What I want to know is, are we going to see the Spooky Dogwood?
I really hope so.
Oh.
I would like to see a game be decided by the Dogwood.
That one Spooky Dogwood. Anyway, so
Cosmic Cyclone, again, the same issue for Kodai, but so close to time. Like, does he side it in knowing his opponent has, like, Reincarnations, Fogblades, and Crescendos, or does he just not risk it?
It depends how long they take to side as well.
He also has Pancratops, which is quite a good card against Orcus. It's a 2-for-1 nearly every time and forces their combo, so it's honestly whether or not Kodai thinks that Cody will choose first or second.
They've sided very quickly. There's
both players really aware of the situation then.
6 minutes on the clock. I wonder what Cody would decide.
If it was me, I believe I would probably go second inside those cards. What about yourself?
I think there's also a possibility where you just Dolphin them for 500, make your board, set the Fogblade so that you can't get
attacked.
You can't get high artade. Crescendo the Eagle Booster or something, and you just go from there.
The only scary part about that is if he has Eagle Booster, that Fogblade is not stopping Hiarte.
Yeah, so that you have to Crescendo as well.
Yeah, you have to have so you have to end your combo deliberately with that play in mind. So 6 minutes to go. I'm really curious who will choose first here. In their hands. They're great judges looking after.
Ooh.
So Cody has an engage in hand. He has one, but he has the draw and lockbird as well. Call by the grave. So he does have he is on the play, and the engage is a guaranteed Orcus combo. Plus he has call by the grave.
That is crazy. Because like we said, engages the combo without using your normal summon. So even if you get interrupted through that call by the grave.
Does he only play the Hornet drones, or does he play another option of engage as well?
He had the Eagle Booster on his printed deck list, but he crossed it out and wrote Mystic Mine and set rotation.
I think in this current format, playing like a jamming waves is really nice because against a lot of the decks, your back row is like an issue.
We saw Kodai's hand. There was an Ash Blossom, but there weren't many spells in Kodai's hand.
Yeah, so he could have multiple hand traps. He could have also started the Ghost Ogre in and Dino Wrestler Pancratops.
Maybe it just becomes a struggle. Kodai might just not have spells, even though he can interrupt his opponent's play, so he might not just be able to...
Could also work out for him too, because Cody has a draw lockbird in hand. So if he was relying on his spell engine to get in there going second after trying to deal with a board, the draw lockbird would end his turn.
So he summons the Kagari, activates the Hornet Drones again, and then normal summons the...
There's the Ash Blossom, and the Call by the Grave, Pointy Finger. There's a Cosmic Cyclone in Kodai's hand for sure. And they're evenly matched. He has evenly matched.
I believe post side you do try to get crescendo because you want to play around evenly matched. You want to play around twin. If you end with like crescendo with Dingirisu protecting it from twin twist, it's a very powerful field. But it's very difficult to end on both crescendo and Dingirisu.
Because he has access to wand, he can also end on redoer here, which is really nice. Does he play multiple copies of boots?
Yes, indeed. He plays two silent boots.
Awesome. He also used the Hornet drones again, I believe.
Yeah, he has that token. It looks like it says Bowden. It looks like Bowden signed that token.
No surprises there. So the Ash Blossom getting negated. Trying to figure out, I think Kodai might have evenly matched Mystic Mine, Cosmic Cyclone, and maybe one other card.
So although it looks like Kodai is able to stop his opponent from playing, he doesn't really have any proactive plays himself.
If he has Mystic Mine and evenly matched, does Cody risk it and crescendo the Mystic Mine, or just let it resolve?
It really depends what you draw. Maybe if he ends on redoer, he can stop the Mystic Mine as well.
Correct. So hopefully he can get to that point for his sake.
Yeah.
I think he can.
Going to send Ancient Cloak, I believe. He's gonna set Fogblade and send
Ancient, I'm sure, and then probably add the second copy of Boots. He normal summon it to start the combo.
Looking for that Ancient Cloak.
Yep.
He does play 45 cards.
That's a lot of cards.
Slightly more than a 40 card deck.
He drew the Engage, which is nice. At least there's 3 of them. Unfortunate to draw the one-off wand, but it actually might help him here.
Drawing one is not the end of the world.
Oh, for sure.
Like, as long as you can find a way to get it out of your hand. He's considering... Alright, so he's looking for the Silent Boots. He's going to special summon at some point and use it later to get the
second Fogblade or
Shade
Brigadine?
Because I think you recognize that Fogblade isn't amazing in the Sky Striker matchup.
True. Like, luckily he had that Hornet drones afterwards, so he was able to use the Hornet drones and the Link 2 to be able to make the Rusty rather than using the Skeleton. So it means he can follow this play up here, and then Galatea can get him the Crescendo.
What did he make Galatea with?
Had a dark the token. But the Galatea was used with the Skeleton and the boots.
Okay, true.
There might be a second go. Or he just used the boots.
And he's going to banish the boots now to search.
Yeah.
Yep.
I missed how he made Rusty. Definitely used
he used the token. He used the token.
What was the other monster though?
The Galatea.
Is Galatea's on the field?
No, the Galatea that was already in the extra monster zone.
Oh, is there 2 Galateas used, is there? Oh, there is 2. Alright, cool. So you can get Crescendo here, and have Dingirisu to protect, and have...
Redoer to stop the Mystic Mine. This deck is crazy.
This is a very good opening, with a minute and a half to go. Unfortunately, or to be fair, actually, in Top Cut, he doesn't just draw. Yeah. We saw that before.
Also, he still has a Silent Boots in the graveyard, so he can search a Fogblade anyway, right? Or no, is that search effect once per turn?
No, he used the boots, he banished it. It's once per turn, yeah.
I stand corrected.
But he still has draw too.
Yeah.
This is a very, very strong opening.
But there isn't much to draw because Kodai just doesn't.
If Kodai uses this Cosmic Cyclone, he may just lose because of time. There's 1 minute to go.
Standby phase, he'll activate the effect of Redoer.
There is an engage in Kodai's hand too. He's going to take the top card. So I don't know if both players are aware of the time rules in Top Cut, but if
he gets a spell.
Gets a spell. Well, that's very likely. There is 27 or so spell, 29, 27 spells or something in the deck. It makes sense.
Let's be real. If I use Redo, I'm likely to get get a Ray. You know, just
you'll definitely hit the one-off DD Crow.
No, I'll get the Ray and put a Ray in their graveyard. You know,
just to help him out. You know. Oh, here comes the evenly match. So that forces
Crescendo, right?
Crescendo. Does he have a second evenly match? Surely not.
I didn't think a second evening match is that bad anyway, because
with 30 seconds on the clock,
he's lost his battle phase. Engage.
So you probably just let engage resolve so he can resolve the draw on Lockbird.
Yeah, you see what he gads. Especially if he has the area 0, that'd be crazy.
Like he can end phase redoer and just only banish the.
Well, there comes the draw on Lockbird. That rate.
Ultimate variety draw on Lockbird.
That Kagari is not adding back that engage, or it could, but it's just.
If I was Kodai and I conceded that I was going to lose this match after the time was resolved, I would just use the Cosmic Cyclone for no reason. Let's just go to game 3. Like I think that is time in the game unless the clock was slightly off.
I think he's just gonna go for the high arte, and just.
Well, does he win by damage then? Is that how this works?
No, they check at the end of each phase.
At the end of each turn.
Each turn, maybe turn or phase.
I'm not 100% sure how it works in Top Cut.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if it's each phase or if it's first damage, because he still has the redoer to put the Hyade back. It only doesn't work here. He's going to
gain 100 life points, but he has the Fog Blade.
He has the Fog Blade, and he also can just redoer.
Yeah.
If he wanted to. He used battle phase, actually, he can't Hyate. Maybe redoer is correct here. Because he has Cosmic for the Fog Blade if he really wanted to.
He has the Fog Blade.
Depends how it works. Probably is end phase.
Kainer's on a resolution. Gain life points.
True. Fog Blade works out anyway. What did he banish off Shark Cannon? Did he just not?
Okay. Shark Cannon.
I'm sure Shark Cannon was meant to banish something. Maybe they're thinking. Oh yeah, they've just realised. They're just like, I'll activate a spell to gain life points. Oh, but it actually does something, so you probably should resolve the effect.
So he's not going to use the Cyclone, but he can now go for the...
Well, he's already used his battle phase. So I think they're just confirming now how the time rule works.
I believe he'll go for the Hayate now. Try and connect damage.
He already used his battle phase from evenly
matched.
matched.
True.
So I think that's why he did that first.
Well, Kagari doesn't really do anything at this stage, does it? Do you really want to waste your Kagari? Maybe...
Doesn't really matter. I feel there's...
but you cut Shizuku anyway, so...
There's not many lines where... Yeah, I'd almost just leave the Kana on the field so the Fog Blade's stuck on it, so he's forced to try and get rid of it before he can attack. Because if the Fog Blade's on Kana, Cody also can't attack it. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think there's many lines here where Kodai can actually get out of this one, so there's a really high chance we'll be seeing a Game 3 the same as last round with 2 turns for each player.
And the dice roll.
Lots of burn damage in these decks.
So during the intermission, I did learn that...
2 Cosmic Cyclones.
That the randomized method of choosing who goes first, whoever wins the dice roll doesn't have a choice. They have to go first.
That's why Ashoka last game probably had to go first, because
the one dice roll you wanted to lose.
So end phase here, he can redo her. He can just use the one just to touch the spell to draw.
Ooh.
Interesting choice to keep the redraw on the field as well, then, if he's not going to use the draw effect.
I think it only targets face-up.
It only resolves on face-up cards, so he can't put that card on top of the deck. That definitely has to go back. I don't think it matters in the grand scheme, but he definitely can't do that, because he can't take that card. That card should be still set. If redo is activated to put a card back, it has to put back the face-up card.
So I'll see if I can do something about that. Just hold.
Hopefully we can get this sorted. Yahweh's just going to go check. Yeah, Yahweh's just going to go check and make sure before this progresses any further. So this quick, you're going to do it now. I think they're just realizing redoors. They can just go back in. It's really easy to fix. They can just put the Shark Cannon back set. The unfortunate thing is that they gave up information, but at the end of the day, both players made the mistake. So I think it'll just be a quick fix. They might get some minors. It depends. So since he resolved the redoor, he still has to use it on the Shizuku. Yeah, like I said, unfortunately information was given by using that on the Shark Cannon, but...
So then, now Reader will take another card from the top, right?
Correct. So whether or not he wants to use Ray anymore. So he still takes a spell, so that's less...
But at least this game save was repairable.
It was a very easy fix, thankfully, so... That resolves. Did Cody draw for turn in all that?
Yeah, I believe
really
so.
hope he did.
That's why he's using the.
I think so. Yeah, I think he drew then used redoer, so that's all good. I'm not sure there's any way that Kodai can get out of this one. Imagine if he just took a trap then instead and then was able to flip the ray or whatever he links into because it doesn't target. They're still reading just to making sure, so I assume there's just something else.
Yeah, they don't want to make any mistakes.
Yeah. So they're probably just giving out the warnings, I assume, because both players missed that effect.
Yeah,
since it wasn't detrimental to the game state,
it was repairable.
It was repairable very easily. They'll probably just both get warnings for missing it, which is fine. This is the second last round of the event and the last round event for one of them.
Did he draw the crescendo?
He drew engage. He drew crescendo for turn, and then he used redoer's effect, which by detaching a spell lets him draw a card. So unfortunately, both of those cards aren't doing much, because I assume he's just going to be able to do damage before the end of this turn anyway. Obviously, he's taking his time to make sure of it, though, because you don't want to make any mistakes. And Kodai did set 3 spell and traps. He doesn't know that 2 of them are cosmics, and he does know one of them shark cannon.
I've been given information that Bowden won game 1 in his match against Michael Duke.
Bowden 1 game away from a Nationals finals.
And, yeah.
So Kodai using Ray's effect to summon Kona. And this will be enough to do damage, I think. And I believe we might be going to a game 3 with 2 turns each.
Ooh.
Another pressure situation.
I think for just formalities, the
Ray was in Kodai's turn when he spun it with redoer.
Oh, right.
But he can't use it again now to summon a monster, so it'll just destroyed by the.
Oh, you just had to double check which monster has more attack points and deals more damage.
Reading cards is good.
So that's
a lot of damage.
300 plus 24. That's 2,700. Damage deficit.
Put him on 5,300. So I think he just sets the crescendo and passes, and that's the end of the game, I believe.
I think they're just confirming at this point.
I think they're explaining to the players because players may not be aware. So a lot of a couple of these players may not have played many top cut matches before. So I'm sure the judges are just reiterating with them what the rules are, and what the differences are with the time rule when we get to top cut.
Definitely, and because they're not allowed to side for this match, it's a game where they're not allowed to side for this game. It's another dice roll where they both want to win, but this time they both want to win instead of both wanting to lose it.
Yeah, it's interesting because Kodai has evenly matched in his deck.
Yeah,
and he can go second and do damage either way.
Yeah,
so maybe he wants to lose the dice roll deliberately.
Very, very true. But then you also have the Aqua Dolphin. There are like so many variables to this equation. It can go.
There's still 2 turns each though, and like you said, it's very unlikely the Dolphin hits a monster most of the time. So it is a big risk.
Yeah.
So whether he can resolve it twice and then he can even it out, worst case, because they don't check it each turn in this. I'm pretty sure it's just 2 turns each, and whoever's up at the end, then they keep checking every turn if life points are still the same.
Sounds correct. High pressure situation.
Once again, so obviously side decks are relevant. I think the downside for Kodai, there is still Cosmic Cyclones in his deck.
They're 1 game away from having a shot at becoming 2019 Australian national champion.
I think both players have played really well those last 2 games as well.
Definitely.
There's not much Kodai could have done about that situation.
All right, here's the dice roll. Here's the most important dice roll of this. That's
low.
4.
That's bit of a drop roll.
Wait, they want to win, right? Yeah.
I think
7.
Cody wants Kodai to win.
6. No. Oh.
Because he has evenly matched.
But evenly matched cuts off his battle phase, which is good for you.
But he still has Kano.
Just hope.
There we go.
Let's see if we can get the hand. That's an Lancia.
Connector, Call by the Grave, Engage.
Oh, that's and there's a crescendo already.
This is a strong hand. I think Kodai needs a second hand trap, or this could get
I only see a Lancia.
Is that Impermanence, the other trap?
I cannot see it.
I guess we're going to have to tune in and find out. So Cody loses his chance to do damage, but he does have Connector. So does he risk it with Connector?
I've been Silent Boots again.
Connector's a really tough choice here.
I don't
think it's worth it.
I think you don't, because if they have... Because, like, what monsters are weaker than Connector? Like, DD Crow's chainable.
Well, it's going to be Kagari on field at 1,700.
Yeah, but then...
It's still really risky,
because, like, every other hand trap can be just activated in response, right?
DD Crow can't. But he doesn't know he only plays 1. Yeah. He saw it game 1, though. I'll be interested to see if he does this.
This is a very powerful opening.
Well, regardless, this resolves unless Kodai decides to impermanence it.
That is an impermanence.
But both players have really strong hands. Does he have Ray, or does he have no way to get to... Oh, he does have Ray.
He does have a Ray. I think he has to impermanence it.
I think he might chain Lancia here. He chains impermanence on the Connect. That's an interesting choice. Maybe he's afraid of the Dolphin
Yeah,
Because
he
he knows
does.
Lancia has 1,000, but surely he would just chain it.
Yeah. Oh man, my heart is
doesn't.
beating
He
fast
doesn't
for the
know. He
outcome of
doesn't
this.
know about the call by the grave. He's holding Lancia, thinking that's going to be enough.
He's
He's
gonna
got
discard the
crescendo.
silent boots.
Go.
Cody opened very strong and winning the dice roll. That could have been just the most important dice roll ever.
True. I'm just trying to look at Kodai's hand to see what he could have done going first, though. Just Ray pass by the looks of it. There's the Lancia, and we're about to see the call by the grave. Let's see for Kodai's reaction. Oof. Took it well. He took it calmly. So
very calm and collected player.
very true. Looking at his hand now, probably just trying to figure out what's the best way he can win this game with 2 turns of attacking, while his opponent only has 1. See the Galatea come down. He's going to activate the Orcus Nightmare effect, do all the standard combos.
He's gonna send the Harp Horror, and Harp Horror will be banished to summon the
Skeleton.
Symbol Skeleton.
He'll probably use the token the same way as last game to make the Rusty.
What's the one that they don't play? Brass Bombard.
Yeah, yes.
That one.
I think actually it might be risky doing that. He might have to link with a skeleton because he doesn't have the boots like last time.
Yeah.
Or he can get it though off Rusty, so it's all good.
Yeah, he's thinking there's no way Kodai can open 3 hand traps.
Well, if he does, he has 2 cards, right?
Yeah.
So he has a crescendo live.
Hey, sometimes all you need is like Ray Engage, right? Ray Engage is like 50 cards.
Depends what he draws. I think it's Afterburner,
He can.
Ray, and something. Very interesting. They must be so nervous about what's going to happen. It's a lot of hold your breath type of stuff. You're like, please don't have it. Please don't have it.
So I believe he'll be able to end on both Stingrisu and Galatea, right?
You imagine if he sided like the chorus just for these situations where he could just add it and just pass with reincarnation and just win the game.
Kodai does have Dogwood, so this isn't completely out of the question.
But he can't side it in unless he sided in for game 2.
Yeah.
It's like the one time Dogwood would have been perfect, and unfortunately he can't side it in unless he already did.
That's going for Galatea. I believe he does end on both Galatea and Stingrisu.
Oh, he does.
He gives the AOK sign. At what point do you just defeat?
I don't know. Kodai's doing a really good job of
keeping a straight face,
which is very critical. It's actually really important in situations like this.
Yeah.
Be cool, calm, and collected. Don't stress out too much. Don't let your opponent know, because you want to keep your opponent as nervous as possible as well. You don't want them to think they've got it.
I believe he still has Galatea effect to be able to set the field spell.
Or you just set a second crescendo, you reckon?
Maybe he sets a second crescendo to bluff that he...
Well, just in case he gets MST, you don't want to use it on MST. You just let it go through. I think I would set the second crescendo here. You
can make arguments for both.
Yeah. He doesn't have a way to trigger stuff in the
But this way, also, he has crescendo on his opponent's turn and on his turn.
Correct. But either way, it's going to resolve. And he's got Skeleton, so if something happens to his board, he can just use that. So here's the draw.
That's a terraforming. Could get into Mystic Mine.
I wish he, I assume he wished he had the draw this time. Mystic Mine's interesting. Do you just negate the Mystic Mine? You just have to. Otherwise, you can't attack.
So this is Kodai's first turn. He might just be able to high arte for 1,500.
Well, there's 2 Fog Blades and a Crescendo set. Or 2 Crescendos and 2 Fog Blades set.
For terraforming, what's he going to add?
Here's Mystic Mine. He's probably just going to try and force the Crescendo.
He does go for the Mystic Mine.
I think that's exactly why they play this card in some of these decks, and some of the combo decks are probably playing it too, just to force negates.
If the Mystic Mine gets negated, then he's free to evenly match, right? Is that
he's got Ray Engage.
No, he doesn't have evenly.
He's got Ray Engage Afterburner, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And Afterburner won't resolve unless he resolves
the destruction effect.
Or gets to a multi-roll or something. This has to just get negated. With the situation they're in, they have to be able to do damage. If he just doesn't negate this, he will not be able to attack next. It's unfortunate, but that's obviously why they play Mystic Mine. That's just exactly what it's for.
Kodai does get another battle phase next turn. Oh, there's 2 Mystic Mines.
Oh, it wasn't. Was it not Engage or was it not Afterburner?
It was. He has an Afterburn in his hand.
So it wasn't Engage. It was actually a second Mystic Mine.
But it won't be able to attack through the Fog Blade.
Imagine if Cody just draws Twin Twister and does the same as he did before.
I mean, what else does he have? He has just 3 Twin Twisters. He has.
If he sided Typhoon in, it'd be pretty good, but he can't activate it with 3 set cards.
I mean, he can also just light stage into Candina and just lock Kodai from using spells.
Oh wow, that would be really good.
And then Candina will also deal 200 damage. Yes,
I can get behind that because I think Kodai's about to make a.
Cody also has set rotation to be able to set over the Mystic Mine Crazy. So there's 3 twinters,
So
1
many
set
outs.
rotation, 3 light stages. Maybe he has the typhoons. Maybe he sighted in typhoons.
You just can't use it though because you have to control no spell and traps. To
Oh,
be able to activate it from the hand, so you'd have to wait. He's using Kana. He's probably going to try and activate a spell to gain some life points.
but is this 100 life points worth it?
Could be. Depends what the spell card is. The Afterburner can't resolve because Dingosu doesn't activate to save itself. Or whatever card he would target.
And this is very on edge.
I don't know if I'd want to be in their seats right now.
Yeah.
Ironically, I was in their seats last year. So I know exactly what this is about. But Mystic Mine, just showing its value. I think Kodai's really considering this Afterburner play. Whether or not Cody realizes he can use Dinguse's effect under Mystic Mine or not. So it's a Shark Cannon, it's not an Afterburner.
Oh, well,
The glare is very
really
hard to tell.
He does gain 100 life
I think
points.
it's not worth wasting the Fog Blade there. I think you'd rather have it for the Hyate next turn.
Yeah, I feel like 100 and 1500 just mean the same thing, right?
And he just has to risk and hope he can out this Mystic Mine, because if he can't, it's his last turn.
Mm.
He needs to out it. Oh, no, there isn't a good out.
What?
He can make a... oh, no, because he can't activate Rusty. I was going to say he could summon a second Ding on top of the Galatea to use Rusty's effect to destroy itself, and then link off the rest for a monster and just attack for damage. But unfortunately, yeah, you can't activate monster effect.
Alright,
This is it.
can we predict the Twin Twisters?
There it is.
Is it?
The draw.
Definitely 1 turn late.
I don't know if he can do it.
He wins by 100 life points off the Kaina.
It's insane.
Maybe you should have fog bladed the Kaina.
Way. Maybe there's a way we're not
Yes,
seeing.
you contribute summon the Nightmare and then link it away.
Wow.
And then all your effects
Will
are
he
active
see
again.
it?
Oh.
Will he see it? And he has Skeleton too, so once he clears it, he can do it.
Do you think
He can make it a Phoenix.
he's going for the tribute summon. You have to tribute summon the Bardish.
He's onto it.
Oh.
And he uses Galatea on the field. He has to leave Galatea on the field so Crescendo can negate Ray.
Yeah.
Oh, no, but he has to link it off.
Yeah, but he can link into another Galatea.
No, because he has to make a way to clear the mine.
Galatea it doesn't matter. The mine just doesn't matter.
Yeah, but the Shizuku means spell cards, so he can't attack over it. But he's going for that Galatea play. Maybe he just does 100 damage and then puts it on.
You can just
On the
summon
clock.
Dingrisu now as well.
But then he can't send. Then he can't attack because of Mystic Mine.
No, summon Dingrisu to send the Mystic Mine and then use the Symbol Skeleton in the graveyard.
You can't do that because once it's the field, you'll have more monsters than Mystic Mine.
No, if you summon Dingrisu on top of the
Oh, on
Galatea.
top of it. Oh, yes.
And then you can send the Mystic Mine.
See if he sees that play. This is it. This is what it all comes down to. Gonna do it. He's looking at it. He's doing it.
Oh, wow, this match has been crazy.
He sends the mine.
Now all his effects are
And
active
he's
again.
got Skeleton engraved for another Ding. And he's got...
You can only summon 1 Dingrisu per turn.
Yeah, but I reckon to summon Galatea, so then Crescendo negates Ray. Then he attacks for a further 18.
Yeah.
And then is that enough? Is that enough damage so then Hyate can't even beat him?
Man, in 2019, we really are tribute summoning Orcus Nightmares.
That's amazing.
But sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
What a play.
He's shaking his head though.
See it? Probably thinking if he wants to summon Galatea or
I believe he has to summon Galatea because
Crescendo is the only way he stops Ray. Plus he has Fogblade still for the follow-up next turn, so he can stop anything his opponent does.
he can increase the attack as well.
Oh, that's a big Ding Gearsu.
And I believe he can summon... he can summon Longarisu. No, well, the Dingrisu's in that zone, so he can...
Still linked.
So what? I'm not entirely
He
sure
can
what he
summon
sent.
Longisu here and use its effect and send this anyway.
Yeah.
Because it's linked to the... He can still send it.
Oh, he sent the world one because that's 8 counters.
That's huge. That's a 3,400.
He's gonna summon back.
Gearsu.
I believe. Yeah, he can summon the Longarisu now, but I don't think he has enough to send.
Yeah, he did. He banished Skeleton before, and he's just banished Orcus Nightmare too, and Harp. So he's got heaps.
Oh, he's got the
he's got Fogblade.
This is gonna be a lot of damage.
This could even be game. If he Longiasu's it, still thinking.
Maybe he's waiting for responses.
I don't think Kodai's looking like any responses. Oh, he activated Crescendo, so we can't activate
Oh, he can only summon Dark
Yes.
Machines that turn.
Yes.
So that Dingus is on 3,400 attack,
34.
minus whatever
I'm not
spells.
sure how many spells. I think it's 2 or 3. But Kodai doesn't look unhappy, but he doesn't look too keen on this. Cody Thorne looking like he may be the first man into the final, but never count someone out, right? So they're just trying to work out the damage now. Very intense game situation.
I have been given the intel that Bowden did win his top 4 match against Michael Duke.
We're going to see Bowden Temnick versus the winner of this game. He chose not to Crescendo the Ray. So maybe he wants to stop whatever he has next turn and hopes he can just do enough damage.
I think he knows he's ahead on life and that Ray coming back.
He's also still got that draw on Lockbird.
Not the Shizuku. Oh, he's attacking. Oh.
Not bringing Kaner out an interesting choice there.
But he can just summon a third Galatea, right? Unless he's already used 3 Galateas.
Wants to crash it. The Crescendo's been turned off anyway. He has the draw on Lockbird, but Kodai's got 3 spells in grave. The first one will still draw him an extra
Kodai
card.
has to deal 2,700 damage.
Just make another Galatea here and have Crescendo. And then that way Skeleton can.
Does he have another?
Oh, does he use all 3 now? I think he did. Because he had to, because when he linked 2 on the first turn, then the one to link off after tribute summoning.
Yeah,
Games
but
could still be on.
It's very tough because Kodai has to deal 2,700 damage.
It's true, and Scar Striker, he has to draw like Widow Anchor.
Maybe not activating the Crescendo was a mistake, but
His engage has to add Widow Anchor and draw Widow Anchor.
Hmm.
Or he has to draw something really good. Here it is. 2,700 life wins to win. The first engage resolves, but it will be hit by a draw on Lockbird. Plus, there's still a Fogblade set as well.
Yeah. But even, being able to deal, like...
This is it. This draw must draw a Widow Anchor to have any chance.
No, that's another Ray. Is there any reason why he didn't just get the Widow Anchor?
Because he didn't have Ray.
True.
Now he wants it. There's no Anchor in grave for him to add either. He could get Shark Cannon to link to and make a Boral Sword.
Ooh.
I'm not sure how he gets to a 4th monster to do that.
But there's also the Fogblade.
Fogblade's still there. I think Cody Thorne may be your...
Oh, there's also the field spell, so when the Symbol Skeleton goes to graveyard, it just summons back the Dingusu.
Yeah, I think Cody Thorne is in the prime seat here. He has played really well. That previous turn, what a play. Tribute summon Orcus Nightmare. All game. Kodai obviously taking his time to make sure there's nothing he can do. But unfortunately, I think this might be it. No matter what he tries, whatever monster he tries to make, this gets met with the Fogblade.
He's just looking through all his options in the final moments of the game.
Right? It's basically untimed as long as he tries to play at a reasonable pace. And I don't think Cody's going to try to enforce anything on that because he understands the situation as well. Unfortunately, Kodai looks a bit defeated. He's definitely thinking, though, there might be something else to happen.
He's shaking.
He just had Widow Anchor there.
He's thinking.
I also don't know what the first card he drew was. I don't know what the spell card was he drew for turn.
What do you think Cody is feeling right now? Do you think he's nervous? Do you think he's happy? Do you think he knows that he's probably won?
From being in his situation, I'll just be thinking, please don't have anything.
Please.
And the longer they think, the more I think they don't have anything.
Yeah.
Because they're really trying to find a way. It's whether or not Kodai's talking to himself and like trying to say, if I do this and do this, he could be trying to like psych Cody out.
I would apply my mind reading powers,
So
but
what was the spell? Here we go. It was a Widow Anchor he drew for turn. Oh, he Fogblades in response to the Anchor, can't take it.
Yeah.
I think all he can do is 15.
I would read Kodai's thoughts right now, but he thinks in Japanese. My mind reading powers are not working right now.
We go. He can add back the Widow Anchor, take the Skeleton, or he can add back the Shark Cannon and make a Link 3 play.
If he gets back the Widow Anchor, what does it realistically do?
Nothing. It can only take Skeleton. I think a Shark Cannon for a Link 2, make a Unicorn. But like you said, as soon as that Skeleton hits the graveyard, like Babble's up on the field, he can just bring anything back to block the attack.
Yeah.
including the Galatea or including the Dingisu Ascender card.
He's using Shark Cannon. Does he have 3 spells in the graveyard? I believe he has. He has
A lot of
4.
spells. He had 3
Actually,
last
he's only
turn.
like 4.
He had 3 last turn, and then he added a turn.
Very well played.
Is it Dingisu play or Unicorn play? None of this has to be Unicorn. Has it?
I don't.
Dingisu has to send itself because he can't summon the Ray.
Heater. Is there a 5 monsters in opponent? Oh, he's Kagari.
Does he have Avramax?
He
no, he can't anyway because it's someone from Grave.
He has Heater.
He does have Avramax, but he can't summon it.
He has Ambi-Whale as well.
Or how big does Whale get? He could just swing over. It's for every monster or every link monster in the grave? I think it's every link monster in the grave. It gains a certain amount of attack.
200 attack points.
So it could be big enough to attack over the skeleton here. Very intense game state. It's Heater or Unicorn. He's definitely switching between the two. Oh, he just conceded. So Cody Thorne will be moving through to the Australian Nationals 2019 finals to face Bowden Temnick. What a game.
What a game. That was so intense. I was on the edge of my seat for like half that match.
The heartbeat of us right now is not good.
I'm not even on the table. I can't imagine how I'd feel if I was there.
But well played Dakota. He obviously played an amazing event.
Yeah, he's played 2 really great feature matches.
Yeah, for sure. He played perfectly. It's just unfortunately in that situation, the drawn Lockbird was there to stop him from being able to get engaged again, and just Cody played really well.
That
tribute summon play was just perfect.
Had there been no intermatch procedures, maybe there would have been a different outcome. Maybe
always true, but that's why we have them, right?
I hope he takes his loss and reevaluates everything he's done at nationals, and just comes back at Oceanics and just dominates it.
Just have Team Japan qualify to represent us at the Oceanic Championships and Worlds.
Yeah, in Berlin. Yeah.
Oh. Very good. Hopefully we can get Cody in for an interview just before the final.
Yep.
But if not, we'll be seeing you soon.
We'll definitely give them time to breathe.
Yeah, of course.
They
I think
both
that's
played
the best
intense
thing to do.
matches.
That was a really long game.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully we see you soon.